Welcome to Movie Fluid. I'm Mr. P and let's talk about Ben Affleck's Batman. And to be honest, I love his version of Batman. Ben Affleck brings an intensity to this role and I think no other actor can do the same for me. But for real, he's the best Batman of all time for me. I will now explain you that why I think that Ben stands out among all of his fellow Waynes. But hey, if you are following my channel, I need a favor from y'all to just like the video and subscribe my channel for more further updates and videos in the future. So let's begin with Adam West. He was fun, he understood that he was in a comic adaptation and he approached all of the goofiness around him with his deadpan nature which really grounded the silly world. Now let's talk about Keaton. He brought detachment and reflectiveness. He was one of the best Batman for me. Val Kilmer was between dark and comedy for me, while George Clooney, let's just not talk about it.
Why are all the gorgeous ones homicidal maniacs? Is it me?
Enough.
Now, let's talk about Christian Bale. He's the best Batman, but his take on Bruce Wayne was like he was not addicted to be the Batman. And if we see his movies, let's be honest, for him being the Batman was like burden for him. Now talking about Robert Pattinson's Batman, he is a younger Batman who is just learning from his failures. And I think I need to see more character development on his take because he's just in his year 2 of his career and I want to see him more experienced so I can really judge him. Now let's talk about Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck being a Batman was just his addiction. If you look at his Batman, he just wants to release his burdens on Gotham's underworld. This is a Batman who never likes to be Bruce Wayne and being Batman for him is all he has left. Let's talk about another fact that Bale's Batman was playing 3 characters. Bruce Wayne, Batman and Playboy Fun Bruce, while Affleck is a gritty man whom we wouldn't like to mess up with. So let's talk about this more. Let's travel to Batman v Superman in the Ultimate Edition where we finally meet that why these two people really wanted to fight, and it also gives us a point of view as an ordinary person. I think that most people forget that all the Snyderverse heroes were actually meant to be broken, and when we meet them, so this could be a reason for them to form the Justice League, because together as a group it makes them stronger. Affleck's Batman was a broken man in search of redemption. If you see Batman vs Superman, you will observe that under Batfleck's control, Gotham hasn't improved but it got worse, and it also dragging him into more controversies. And dude, let me say that I've never seen a Batman like this. Affleck's Batman is lacking moral clarity and he's spending his entire life negotiating his two selves. Even as Bruce, he's trying to improve Wayne Enterprises to upgrade his Batman funding. Now this is a Batman who is failing at his job and he's also looking for meaning. He's looking for someone to punch him down, and now we see him in Batman vs Superman that this is a Bruce Wayne who cares for people working for him. Now he finds a little girl who has just become an orphan like him.
What? We're gonna find your mom. Where is she?
So in that moment, Bruce is back to his childhood. He feels like a powerless man as he did as a little boy. And at that moment, Bruce looks up to the sky and takes a note that he will never feel powerless again. Now this Batman is tired of everything. He's broken and he has seen the worst of humanity. He sees everyone as corrupted, and if you realize deeply, you will also realize that he is also corrupted because this Batman is good until Gotham cheers for him, and his Gotham is the worst Gotham of all time in the history of DC Comics. In other movies, we see Batman as a symbol of hope because when the bat signal goes up to the sky, people realize that oh, now we have a protector who's watching us all the time. But in this Gotham, people are like terrified of Batman, and that's the reason he's introduced like the ghost in a horror movie. When this Batman arrives home, it's not a glorious operative moment in Keaton's Batman movies. It's not badass, he's just a regular guy getting home from having a bad day at office. He's an alcoholic, he takes pills. His family's legacy is now destroyed and he never takes time to repair it. Instead, he surrounds himself with all of his failures. And failure here means that killing the Joker years ago. And the reason why he didn't kill Joker is that he believes that anyone can come back from the darkness, that anyone can be redeemed because Joker quits the darkness, so he can too. But in Affleck's case, that's not the truth, and that's the reason why he kills, because deep down he believes that killing someone from being more corrupted in future can make him more redeemed and make him feel peace, so he can finally think that he can't save himself but save millions. So if we can see when Bruce decides to kill Superman, it's just a compilation of failing to make a difference for 20 years. He's middle-aged and he wants to do something good before he dies. And this is the way Batfleck fails to realize that he can change over the years. Now Batman is becoming a villain. Now if you check Batman v Superman, you can see while Luthor is entering the water and Batman is training on the other hand, you will realize that they are both villains. Now coming to this line.
I bet your parents taught you that you mean something, that you're here for a reason. My parents taught me a different lesson. Dying in the gutter for no reason at all.
Now it makes sense that Bruce knows Clark very well in the comics, but here Batfleck assumes that he doesn't has a family, but he's evil. And now that's the reason he's surprised to know that he had a mom named Martha. Now coming to the Martha moment, it gives a message that it breaks Bruce from the tunnel vision and he allows himself to have empathy once again. Now for a young Batman, he would have hope for the criminals to get revived as the time passes, but this Batman has lost all of the ability to empathize with the people and now he can only think of the mission. He only thinks about now reviving his old guilt because that's Batman and because it would pain him to not be the Batman. It's like a drug that he can't give up. And from Martha moment, it gave us the best Batman sequence of all time, and this is the reason why I like Ben Affleck than other Batmen. Okay, so thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you liked this point of view of mine for Batfleck, and please use the hashtag #MadeTheBatfleckMovie in the comments. And yeah, if you have a blast while watching this, please do like, share and subscribe, and hell yeah, cheers.